Hi there. This is a short video tour and explanation on an assignment I completed in eTech 565A, which was to build a learning management system or LMS site on digital citizenship. So for this assignment, we were required to use Moodle as our LMS site. Admittedly, I found this challenging, mainly because there were no step-by-step instructions provided to us by the instructor or the course, and this was ultimately a constructivist learning experience. And this was the best way to learn a technology, and this is always the best way to learn a new tool, is to try to figure it out yourself. I relied heavily on the e-learning toolkit provided by the course. What I also found helpful was participating in the discussion forums in Vista. What would happen was that I would post a question, and one of my other peers in the course would be a Moodle expert, and he or she would be able to answer the question or guide me in the right direction. I also found that my peers would post questions that I would have, so I would be able to indirectly find the responses to those questions as well. Before we go to my Moodle site, let me just take you through the requirements that we needed to include. We were assessed on our overall quality of work. So what this means is, what is your web design like? Is it professional looking? What is the overall look and feel for it? How user-friendly is the site? This was especially important for me because my audience was grade 6 and 7 students, and I wanted to make sure that my site was easy for them to navigate and intuitive. We needed to have a splash page with a customized GUI with at least 4 navigational components. A GUI means a graphic user interface, and at least 4 links that would lead your user to different parts of your site. 2 or more complete learning modules, largely based on HTML pages. We needed to have 1 or more module programmed for selective release. So selective release means that the course instructor has the ability to control when a certain module was made available to students. We need to also have 2 general discussion forum topics. We need to have 1 additional group discussion forum for at least 2 groups. And we also need to provide a reflection at the end. My reflection is on this page in my ePortfolio. Now let me take you to my Moodle site. Oh, I'm not on the home page. Let me just go to the home page. Okay, so this is my home page. Now, this is what I mean by the graphic user interface. So this GUI that I have here, Social Studies 6 Digital Citizenship, was actually based on an image that I took from the Open Clip Art library, because those images belong to the public domain. So what I did was I adapted and remixed it a little bit and added a bit of a background in Adobe Photoshop, and I added the text, so that becomes my GUI. I have my 4 navigational components here to the welcome page, my modules, my assessment, and a glossary of terms. Let me just take you through to the welcome page. So I'll just read you the overview or the general introduction. The essential question of this course is, what does it mean to be a responsible digital citizen? Digital citizenship is a framework that will help you understand how to appropriately use technology in a fast-paced, information-driven society. You'll mainly focus on critical thinking and internet literacy, as you will learn how to effectively use digital resources and technologies for research purposes. It also includes the following areas: digital rights and responsibilities, digital safety and security, digital etiquette, and digital law and ethics. Now, my goal eventually in the future is to incorporate more modules or more lessons having to do with the latter 3 topics here. Okay, I'll take you back to the home page. Now, for this course site, I've only built 2 modules, but they each have several components. Now, Module 1, Critical Thinking and Internet Literacy, students, my grade 6 and 7 students can work through this. So it goes from Lesson 1.1 to Lesson 1.6. Lesson 1.1 deals with what does it mean to be internet literate. So what does that mean? I've included a video here that details using critical thinking to find trustworthy sites. And students would have to create a know, wonder, learn chart as to what they know about internet literacy, what they wonder about internet literacy, and what they have learned about internet literacy. And this is something that I would require them to submit to me as part of their summative assessment at the end of this module. Going back, again, I was trying to make the navigation easy for the students. I find this topic always to be shocking to the students when we talk about Martin Luther King Jr. Now, to give them context, I have them watch a mini biography on Martin Luther King Jr. And then they're to visit a website called martinlutherking.org. Now, I don't want to give away what's on this website, but they have to critically examine the content on martinlutherking.org after watching that short biography of Martin Luther King from the Biography channel and participate in a discussion forum, meaning what are their thoughts about the website? What did they notice about the physical layout? What information did they find out about Martin Luther King Jr. as they visited the different pages, etc. So basically what they have to determine is if they think the information on that website is true. And again, I don't want to give it away, but that's what they have to do. Moving forward in Module 1, we also talk about authorship and bias. When can you trust what you find on the internet? So here I have the students, this is kind of set up like a web quest, go through a series of photos taken from the northeastern United States region after Hurricane Sandy's impact. Now, what's interesting is that eventually they encounter some fake photos of Hurricane Sandy. And what I want them to do is share their reaction to these photos as to, you know, how the media and how people can manipulate what's being put out there and what's being published on websites. Again, when can you trust what you can find on the internet? I also have them go into a critical challenge activity in basically determining the reliability of sources as well. And eventually, they are required to upload their KWL chart because at this point they should have included a number of items under each category. I'll also take you quickly through Module 2. Now, Module 2, sorry, I'll go back to my navigational component there. More useful tips for effective online research. Now here, this mainly has to do with getting familiar with terminology, so understanding the differences between search engines, directories, and meta search engines, evaluating the different types of search engines by investigating the feature of one and comparing it and contrasting it with others. Discover that trying out more than one search site can be the most effective way to search. So, for example, what I have them do in the introductory activity for this module is thinking about what search sites that they commonly use. And obviously, students use Google quite a bit. What makes you decide to use one search site over another, and what are the benefits and drawbacks of search sites? So as you can see, I incorporated quite a bit of background resources and different types of media when building this Moodle site. Crawling the web activities, lesson 2.2, or sorry, 2.1 and 2.2. So what students have to do is I actually had them download a table, a three-way search table. So to get them thinking about how much they actually know about how a search engine works. So I've provided them with some detailed information here about search engines and how directories work and how a meta search engine works as well. And so they're to compare and contrast the different functions as well. Compare your hits wiki. So here I've actually incorporated a wiki for students to work with where they're analyzing Google, Yahoo directory for kids, Dogpile, Quintura for kids, Demos, and Metacrawler. So as you can see, some of them are search engines, meta search engines, or directories. So what they need to find out is what kinds of information are provided on the results page after they type in 2012 London Olympics or 2012 London Olympics women's gymnastics competition. How do your results compare to the other results found by other groups? And so on. So as you can see, there's a lot of different components that I've included here. We also look at the features of online sources, where I was able to embed a video from BrainPop as well. And this introduces students to features of online sources. I also have students look at how specific internet searches can be. And they are to make note of any important vocabulary that comes up in the video. So again, I've incorporated a wide range of media when building this Moodle site. What's in the URL? So I find this useful as well. So students could critically examine what is in a web address and the different components of it. And then there's this discussion forum after that. And what I was able to incorporate here was an online quiz, which is a summative assessment of what they have learned in this module. So it's kind of cumulative as well, because students would have to refer to concepts or ideas from Module 1. And a variety of different types of questions were included: multiple choice, matching, short answer, and short essay. So in total, this Moodle site took a lot of work. It took a lot of time and a lot of planning, but ultimately I've come away with a resource that can help me get started on planning out a complete unit on digital citizenship. In the future, as I mentioned before, I'd like to add in extra topics such as digital safety and security and digital etiquette, but it looks like so far I've got a pretty good start.